go through what you went through last year. You learn a lot of things, even though this is kind of just making it back. Were there new things you learned this time around, making it back to the final?
Yeah, I mean, obviously different teams. Again, with our experience, I think we've learned kind of our way, our style of, what makes us great, what makes us, win hockey games. And I think we're just at that point where we're feeling good. Obviously adding pieces, great pieces that, obviously on the ice, but off the ice as well. And, guys are excited to, start this again.
Mon, you guys have gone through some pretty insane buildings through the playoffs, but now you're heading up to Edmonton, Canadian team in the final again. Just what do you expect, and how much do you think this means to the fans, not just in Edmonton, but across the country?
Yeah, I think you just said there. I think obviously they want their teams to be where Edmonton is, but again, a Canadian market, they're gonna have their whole country behind them. Excited, it's gonna be loud, but again, we focus on what we can here, and I think we got a pretty good state that is excited that we're back here too as well, and that's what our goal is, to bring that back.
Monty, all throughout the playoffs and throughout the season, you guys have been one of the top defensive teams in the league. You guys have shut down some of the top opponents through the first 3 rounds. Got another big challenge, McDavid, Draisaitl, et cetera, et cetera. Just what's the excitement level for you guys, their offense versus your defense, and just with what you guys have done this season, how much confidence you guys have going up against a challenge like that?
Yeah, again, I think, with those guys especially, each series has, specific players that you kind of key in, but, 2 of the best players in the world. Obviously, they've shown it their whole career, and those are 2 players that not necessarily you can shut down, but you can limit, and you got to make it tough on them. I think you can see, every team plays against these guys. They try to find a game plan to, stop them, and they obviously find their ways, just how talented they are. But you got to make it tough on them. It's going to be a long series, 7-game series that make it tough on them as much as you can, and limit their chances, to the best you can.
Just following on that, McDavid has the puck. He's winding up with speed. Your defenseman, what is going through your mind as he's coming up ice?
Try to match that speed. Again, try to get as close as you can possible. Again, he's going to come up with more speed than most in this league. It's tough to contain, but try to keep his the best gap you can as possible, and again, play as hard on him.
Monty, I know a lot of you guys played through a lot of for hockey minor, for the real world serious stuff last year as far as injuries when you got to this time of year. When you look back at it all, did you feel cheated? Like you guys weren't at your best, you weren't at your best. I know you were out there doing all you could, but
yeah.
How do you rectify the luck factor and how it just health was not on your side in that series?
Again, I think every team's gonna have health issues, coming this far in the playoffs. I think luckily enough, for the most part, I think guys are, feeling pretty good right now. Obviously, each year is different, each series is different, but again, you get to that point, guys lay it all online. Obviously tough bounce, but they played. Obviously, you gotta give them credit. Last year, they're a heck of a team, and they deserve that. And again, I think this year is obviously completely different, and guys are excited for the challenge, and have that itch to get going.
Monty, looking at this week now, how do you kind of maintain a certain level this week and not get too high, too low? Obviously, last year you guys waited a long time, the other team did it, now both teams are waiting quite a bit, but just how do you manage the emotions of this week before you finally get to game 1?
Yeah, last year's a little different. I think we had 11 days, 10, 11 days. Travel obviously. We start at home, which is a little different. Guys are kind of excited about that. I get to catch Kai's first birthday, which is nice. And for me personally, I guess it's a little different. My wife's pregnant, but she's not due until next year, so that's going to be a nice little different for me. But again, no, guys rest, recover, spend time with their family, their loved ones. It's obviously a hectic time. Friends and family are trying to get into Florida or ask for tickets and stuff. And try to avoid that as much as you can, but enjoy kind of this time to kind of recover and be ready for this big challenge that we have ahead of us.
Take 3 more questions.
How do you feel about OEL making it to the final this 14th year, and how has it been to just having him on the team and getting?
Yeah, no, he's been awesome. He's again another piece that we've added that fit in right away. You know, especially early on when we were hurt. Fit in nicely, plays his role to better than anyone, and obviously as a human he's up there for one of the best. Positive attitude at all times, but again, those are players. We have a couple of those guys that have been around the league a long time that haven't necessarily had this chance, and those are players that you want to play if not harder for, just because a long time. I think for all of us, we're excited to get this thing going and gonna play for each other.
I have two. The first is, it seemed like just from watching, by the end of the series, the Rangers just seemed kind of drained and like out of fuel. Maybe look different on the ice, but how do you guys use your physicality to kind of just get teams to kind of run themselves out of energy, I guess?
Yeah, again, I think that's a strength of our team is to press, make it hard for teams, and it's a series. It's not a one game win it all. It's you got to go right to 7 games if that's what it takes, and that's what our mindset is. And with New York, I think we felt that as well. And but again, they stayed with us. It was close games every. The series could have went either way, but close games all the way to the end. And I think like I said, that's a strength of our team.
And then Florida and Edmonton, very long plane flight between the two cities and stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you like to do to stay busy or go to sleep? What do you like to do on the plane on those long trips?
Yeah, that's gonna be 6 hours or so. So yeah, I mean, you try to stay busy. Guys play poker, watch movies. I don't know, hang out, do a little. Like you guys like to sleep. I'll kind of do probably a little bit of I don't play poker, but I like to obviously have conversations around that table and watch probably a movie or two. But yeah, it's gonna be a long one.
Anything on the to watch list?
I gotta find something. That's gonna be a long one, so I have to find something new.
Airplane.
Long series.
You played in front of Sergei for a while. I'm
Yeah.
just curious, what's he like? Any stories of him on the ice that?
Sergei?
Yeah.
Not really. No, to be
No.
honest, he's kind of. I think you guys see it. He's in his own little world, and which is obviously fine with us. You try to talk to him about some shifts here and there, but he's pretty quiet, reserved, and goes about obviously what he does.
Okay. How about he was asked earlier? Carter Verhaeghe was asked earlier, talked about his work ethic and mentioned he walks on some sound like a balance beam. I can't remember anything about his work ethic that stands out with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best I've seen since I played. But again, he does his things. He finds ways that make him better, and it's working. So you let him do his thing. He's on the ice an hour before we are. He's doing his thing right now. In the gym and getting his rehab. But yeah, he does it better than anyone. So
Thanks everyone. That'll complete our
Thank you.
meeting.
yep.